All right, fellas. Fact or fiction? Saudi is better than Ligue.
That's the most fictitious statement I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Saudi nowhere near.
Nah, hell no.
Ligue is nowhere near the league it used to be, but like it is so many levels above Saudi. It's not even.
It's not even close, bro. Do you guys feel like players stay at that level though when they go to Saudi and come back to Europe? Do you think they could like stay at like a high club like when they left, or do they think they kind of level off?
Well, we don't know yet, do we? Because we haven't seen anyone do it and like stay in like a top flight league. Like the interesting one would be for me, right? If Sadio Mane went back to the Premier League, he'd be nowhere near good enough for say Liverpool, Arsenal, whatever. But like I think he could cook for like a mid-table team. But damn, that's a fall off, isn't it? Like one of the best wingers in the world now. I mean, dude, Neymar and Santos.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he does though. But like
His
Neymar
left
literally
knee
played
doesn't
42
work.
minutes. Yeah, his left knee doesn't work. Yo, I saw a video.
Yeah, when he was at the.
You saw that video, bro, where he can't even bend his knee down to like kiss the badge.
It's kind of
bro.
sad. I obviously feel for him. That sucks.
I was reading this thing, like the Opta Power Index, which is mostly bullshit, right? Like they're just trying to throw numbers for comparison's sake. But I think Ligue 1 is like 5th or 6th in the world relative. Like Prem's the top, then La Liga, then whatever.
MLS.
MLS is actually 9. MLS is 9.
We're getting there.
The Saudi League's like 70 something, bro.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bro,
And then Cristiano's getting on telly like, yeah, man, like Saudi's better than Ligue 1, which by the way, he has never played in.
that's crazy. The same amount of money they paid for Duran is their league coefficient.
You have to think about it. If we're talking about a whole league comparison, it has to be top to bottom. And what people think of when they think of Saudi is they cherry pick like the 150 million, the 200 million, the 750K a week that they spend on like 10 players.
Yeah.
Like realistically, it's like you can count the number of guys getting that on your hands. That does not mean that the league is good. They're also going to like 3 or 4 clubs. So no, there's no. I love League going to McDonald's as much as the next guy, but there's no shot that Saudi. Yeah, no. There's
That's
no
the
shot
thing
that
with Saudi as well. Like the PIF, like absolutely loves its football, but as long as it is these 4 teams and everyone else can go and f themselves.
Yeah,
It's crazy to me though that Jhon Duran really, after 12 goals in the Premier League, 70 million pounds
We did
to Saudi Arabia.
We did a Goal USA IG collab with a brand that's like a Colombian soccer culture poster brand, Parceros United, and there were some really interesting comments from like the Colombian fan.
Yeah, what do Colombian people think?
A lot of them.
What are the streets saying?
Yeah.
No, it seemed to be split. A lot of people were really upset and sad. They feel like he's like throwing away the best part of his young career, which I understand. But there was one comment that really stood out to me that got a lot of likes and engagement from other people on the post, just like paraphrasing, but it's like, man, I wish our players didn't grow up in poverty so they didn't have to go and like try to get as much money for all of their family as they could at this stage in his career. Not that making like 3 or 4 mil a year in the Premier League is like not a lot of money. Obviously, it is.
I don't even think he was making that in the Prem. Bro.
But I mean, if you were to quadruple your income, if not more, to like provide for your parents, your grandparents, your extended family, your future kids, like if you look at it from that perspective, it's hard to blame a guy, especially if he comes from that environment where like there's not a lot, and you are the primary support for your whole, your
whole damn village, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think he's ruined his career though?
Hell no, bro. Hell no. Think about it. He's creating generational wealth, bro. Like maybe at Aston Villa, he was making between what, 20 to 50K pounds a week on average. Like if 50K, if he's like lucky, because at Premier League clubs like 100K, that's like Chelsea levels, bigger levels. But for him to make 320K a week in Saudi Arabia untaxed, go play there for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Come back, you're only 23 years old. He's still gonna be technically like under 24 if he leaves Saudi, you know what I'm saying? So like he has the time to come back, have a good career in Europe after. Maybe it might not be like, playing for the big clubs, the Man Cities, the Real Madrids, but he could still end up back in the Premier League at a club like Villa, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
If he does like well enough for himself at like a major international tournament, like say he has a sick World Cup, right, in 2026, you could aim higher than Villa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he could genuinely do it. I think one thing that's super interesting about soccer is that it's all about like player pathways, right? Like what we don't realize is that most footballers in the world have to go from bad club to mediocre club to good club to elite club. Like think about it, Jude Bellingham is like the perfect case study. Birmingham, Dortmund, Madrid, right? The question is we haven't seen like a player progression from young to old via Saudi yet.
Yeah,
so the
that's a
question
good
is, what happens from that Saudi step to the like elite step? Does it exist?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Underrated thing that we haven't talked about. I don't know if you guys think this is actually something that's going to benefit him, but he does get to play with Ronaldo. You know, like there might be something to learn from that experience for him being a young guy. With Ronaldo at the age that he is, with them facing the competition they're going to be facing, maybe not, but it could be kind of cool.
I think I'm here for the vibes, but my contrarian tactical brain is like, this is the dumbest thing in the world, because let's be honest, if you can't play with Ollie Watkins, who is willing to like move and be mobile and sacrifice himself a little bit for the team, how the fuck are you going to play with Cristiano Ronaldo? Like, I mean, I don't know, as far as I know, Duran like worshipped Cristiano when he was a child, which would surprise. I don't know, he's Colombian. Does that mean he hates Messi or loves Messi?
I feel like the way he be shooting all over the pitch, he must be a Ronaldo fan.
That's true. I think he's got some of that attitude to him.
Yeah, he does.
But so what I'm saying is, play with your heroes. Like, I get that. But like, does that mean that they're gonna be able to play together? I don't know, man.
I don't know. And I think people are talking about, Saudi being a threat to the next big clubs over the next couple of years. And how do you guys feel about that? Do you really think that Saudi's gonna have an impact on like how European football is?
If we're talking the biggest of the big, they have enough money to make these guys satiated with their wages, and they're going to get even more in endorsements if you were to play for a big Manchester club or in Madrid or for PSG. If you're looking at like your total earnings, if you play for those elite level clubs, you're going to make enough money where Saudi might be a little more in your like weekly wages, but it's probably not going to be enough to move the needle.
It's also nowhere near as sexy to have like Visit Saudi as a sponsor rather than Nike.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? One thing I am quite looking forward to though, because of this, is the Club World Cup. Because this is a pretty good barometer of like how those Saudi teams are going to be able to compete against European teams. Like if you needed like a heat check of where you're at, like welcome to PSG, buddy. How good would that be? Oh my God, if a Ligue club just like smacks the living shit out of a Saudi club.
I'm loving to see alhilal versus PSG this summer in America, see how the game goes.
Yeah. What's your prediction for that, Gone? Knowing Saudi like you do.
If we're counting like Ousmane Dembele's form right now, bro, PSG's destroying alhilal, bro.
What, like, are we multiple goals?
I'm saying that like if they play a game, I can see like a 3-1 scoreline.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
No, Seattle Sounders better.
Seattle
Sounders Club World Cup champions.
Dude, that's actually a more interesting comparison though, isn't it? Saudi and MLS. Everyone's like talking about Ligue. Like, I think Saudi and MLS, that would be more interesting to me.
If you guys built a Saudi all-time 11, like best in the league, are they beating some of the teams in Europe?
No, they're not sniffing it.
Nah. You play Mitrovic up top.
Nah, I mean, like you've got some lads in there who could still definitely make an impact. Like you won't bet against like Benzema or even Cristiano in a big game.
Yeah, because their 11 will be like what? Joao Cancelo.
Yeah.
Depends how old they are.
Is it Aymeric Laporte? He's still
Laporte's there.
They got
Lodi would probably play left back.
Renan Lodi, who's a right back in the league. Cancelo could play right back.
Yeah, Cancelo would play right back.
And then midfield would be like Milinkovic-Savic.
Brozovic. Ronaldo is a 10.
Nah, they have one. There's another midfielder in that league.
Yeah,
they got Ruben Neves.
Okay, Ruben Neves. That's a decent midfield.
You put like CR7, Mitrovic, and Mane or Benzema.
Dude, stick Mitrovic on the right.
Or instead of Brozovic, you could put N'Golo Kante. That's still a good team. It's a good all-star team.
Maybe.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Rondo. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know in the comment section, did Jhon Duran make the right decision going to Saudi Arabia? We'll catch you guys in a bit.